Everybody, just coming in. I haven't done a video in a really long time. A lot has been going on. Coming in because I just lost my dad. It's been a month yesterday. And just to show you this, it's my handsome daddy. 62 years old. Died from cancer at 62. Started prostate cancer, and then it metastasized, and then went to bone cancer, and was all over. A really humbling experience. I helped my mom care for him, but my mom was there 24/7. I'd come in days at a time, a weekend, because I'm still working. I have an older brother who came in on some weekends. My 21-year-old daughter wasn't there as much as I felt like I would have liked, but she explained to me that it was something that was really difficult for her emotionally because of the strong, healthy man that she knew. The cancer just ate away at him, and he just wasted away in excruciating pain. He went from, I think 9 months ago, he was in the hospital with blood clots in his legs, and they actually caught that on a routine checkup, and he was rushed to the hospital, and he was back in the hospital 2 more times after that, and the doctor informed him and my mother, that there was nothing else that they could do. And I remember getting that phone call from my mom, and my mom's really strong, but she was on the phone crying. And at that time, I didn't cry. Throughout periods of time dealing with this, he had cancer for 8 years, but the last year, then the last 6 months, and the last 6 weeks of his life were really, really difficult to watch and really difficult to deal with on a daily basis. And just knowing in your mind, okay, he's dying, but not just being numb at times. And being numb to me is a protection. I'm actually part of a Facebook page group of cancer caregivers who are in all different stages of caregiving. Most of them, their loved one, their husband, wife, grandparent, parent, are in the hospice phase, which they put you on hospice normally if you have 6 months or less to live. So, when you hear hospice, that's, not a good thing. They're not there to treat the cancer. They're there to keep you comfortable, which means a lot of pain meds, because at that time they're in a lot of pain. And I actually read that once it turns into bone cancer, that is the highest level of excruciating pain, which is what my dad had. And just having him in his last days saying, I can't take it anymore, and asking us to kill him, please, stop the pain, make the pain go away. And he had enough pain meds to put down an elephant. So really hard to watch someone you love. I'm a daddy's girl. To watch him die was, to date, the most difficult thing I've ever gone through in my life. And I find myself getting emotional now. I do not want to cry on this video. Yeah, the most emotional thing I've gone through in my life. for myself as a daughter, but to see my mother, my parents were together 46 years. My mother was so hoping to make 50 years, but it didn't happen. So just going through cleaning up, I was there the other day, and he kept a lot of stuff. So I was like, Dad was a hoarder, a clean hoarder, but a hoarder. But he would always ask me from work. When I was working at the EEOC, we would get complaints in the binders, like the kids take to school. So he'd ask for binders. Lo and behold, he had binders going from 2009. So every time he went to the doctor, every time he got an update, all of that paper from the past 8 years. And actually, it stopped. Well, maybe I didn't get to that stack yet, but the stack that I went through stopped 2 years ago. So it stopped when he was 6 years old. But my mom said, no, there's another stack around here somewhere. We'll find it. But she wanted me to shred that because it had his medical record number on it and, personal information. So just going through that binder and just, reading the reports, because he would never talk to me about it. My mother would tell me stuff. And, she was pretty open and honest about things. But just going through their stack and just seeing, all the medicine and the treatments and the chemo and the this and the that and the other, and just shredding it just made me feel like I was shredding him or a piece of him. And I know it sounds silly. If you haven't been through it, you won't understand what I'm saying. But I just cried and cried and cried. And my mom hugged me, and it was hard. It was hard. Going through his stuff is hard. They have an office with 2 desks and 2 computers and 2 phones and, 2 sides. He had his printer and her printer, and it was very much set up like an actual office. And I asked my mom, was she going to, get rid of his computer and his desk and stuff? And she said no, that she wasn't. He had a desk calendar, which stopped in September. That was the last time he was at his desk. He came home September 30th and died November 12th. So he was in hospice care, was in the hospital bed in the family room from when he came home. He left twice. Once he was in really bad pain, and they took him to a facility for cancer patients that are dying again, not to perform a miracle or cure. I think they call it a respite home. So he was actually able to go there as well if my mom wanted a break, which she did not take them up on that. She cared for him from the time he came home until he passed away. She said that was her responsibility, and she was not passing it off on anyone else. There were a lot of times of frustration and anger for her that I felt at the cancer itself, and it would come out, and I just wanted her to understand the things that my dad was doing, becoming agitated. At one point in time, he asked a lot where he was at, and she had to keep telling him he was at home. This man was sharp. My dad was a very, very smart man, very intelligent, very articulate, and to get to the point, the lump in the throat, to get to the point where you don't know where you're at, you don't know your family. So it's like going through cancer and dementia or Alzheimer's. I know I said that wrong. I used to call it old timers when I was a kid. I know that's not the name of it. So I mean hard, really, really hard. This past 6 months has been, it's been hard. So, yeah, so, I wasn't wanting to make a whole lot of videos anyway, but really, just wanted to come in and let y'all know that my dad did pass away, and it's really hard. My mother has hard days, and I know she had told me about she was in his closet one day because we had to clean his closet out. We getting ready to do that. We got to do that. And she just went in the closet and just screamed, "I miss you," and just fell to her knees in his closet. And she called me, and that was a day that she cried all day. She got through. I went with her one day, having a death certificate and going to DMV and getting the house stuff together and getting everything together. She did most of that by herself, and she did really well. Really proud of her. She's such a dignified woman and graceful, and I'm really proud of the way that she's handled things. And people are like, how does she do it? And my mom has always been that way. When things need to get done, the emotions and all of that kind of go to the side, and she gets it done. Excuse me, y'all. I really did not think I was gonna come on here and cry, and I don't know why I thought that. Excuse me, I gotta get some tissue. Yes, I'm just gonna have a moment. Yeah, so she did what she had to do, and thinking about what that is. Anyway, thinking about doing what you have to do. We have a family friend from the congregation, and he's dying from colon cancer, and he and my dad were actually buddies, and they had a bond in this horrible sickness that they have, and he's on the any day now list. And I just look at the two situations, how my mom and dad, but my mom specifically, just had everything together. We went to the funeral home a month. Well, once he came home, we went to the funeral home the beginning of October. So as soon as we could, to find out how all of that works, and found out that once he dies, the hospice nurse would call the funeral home and they would come and get him. And just knowing those things are important. And I find that this other family that we're talking about just is not prepared, and my mom wanted to be prepared because she knew it was going to be very emotional, and it's hard to make decisions and do things when you're emotional like that. So she got everything together. She gathered the